pequena comunidade agrícola no interior do Zimbábue. Agora o foco da pesquisa ufológica porque os avistamentos estão na ordem do dia nessa parte da África.
O número de avistamentos aumentou. Chegou a um ponto que não passa um dia sem que não haja um avistamento.
Pelo menos metade dos avistamentos que temos são genuínos. O resto deveria ser atribuído a meteoritos, fenômenos naturais, esse tipo de coisa, mas metade dos informes são, sem dúvida, genuínos.
Esta série de atividades de OVNIs começou com um encontro que ocorreu nesse campo próximo à escola primária de rua. Em setembro de 1994, 72 alunos contaram que um OVNI pousou e que eles viram seres alienígenas saírem da nave espacial.
Tudo que eu vi foi uma luz prateada, assim, desse jeito.
Eu vi as naves. Eu vi que a maior estava circulando a outra nave menor. Eu vi sim. Eu juro que eu vi.
Eu vi quando eles estavam parados e também vi desaparecerem. Subiram mais ou menos 1 metro do chão e depois desapareceram. Nós procuramos os professores e queríamos contar para eles o que aconteceu, mas aí eles disseram que não era nada.
Mas as crianças começaram a fazer desenhos, a criar com lápis coloridos o retrato perturbador de um contato extraterrestre.
Não era humano mesmo. Ele tinha uma cabeça grande, grandes olhos pretos e usava uma roupa toda preta.
Os olhos dele vinham até aqui e ele era meio engraçado.
E as crianças contaram que esses olhos transmitiam uma mensagem telepática, um apavorante aviso sobre a destruição da Terra.
Eu acho que eles estavam tentando nos dizer alguma coisa que vai acontecer, mas às vezes as pessoas não acreditam neles. Eles queriam mostrar alguma coisa pra gente.
Gostaria de dar as boas-vindas a Cynthia Hyde, da África. Muito obrigado.
Ninguém conhece melhor a história do avistamento de rua do que a pesquisadora Cynthia Hyde. Em um recente congresso internacional sobre OVNIs, Hyde fascinou os ufólogos com as histórias das crianças de rua.
Eu acredito. Acredito que viram o que dizem ter visto. Pequenos detalhes que vi nos desenhos e que são incríveis.
Hyde é uma respeitada jornalista africana que cobriu o encontro de rua para a BBC. O que ela acha mais convincente é o fato de que nenhuma das 62 crianças mudou sua versão do que aconteceu desde que o evento ocorreu em 1994, apesar da rígida punição da comunidade para a mentira.
Eu posso dizer uma coisa. Elas têm medo do diretor da escola. Não há dúvida quanto a isso. Ele é uma pessoa que bate com vara nas crianças desobedientes. Dizem que ele acredita em disciplina e chegou a dizer: não acredito nessas coisas, mas posso garantir uma coisa. As crianças nunca mentiriam para mim.
Mas nem todos na escola de rua acreditam na história das crianças.
Não é uma questão de estarem mentindo ou não, certo? É uma questão da distinção que fazem entre a realidade e a não realidade, que talvez não seja tão definida quanto a diferença entre uma criança mais velha ou uma pessoa adulta.
O professor John Saliba ensina religião comparada e pesquisou muitas das histórias de contatos extraterrestres, desmerecendo todas elas.
Outra coisa que questiono é que, se essas naves estão aterrissando, supostamente fazendo um monte de barulho, por que os adultos não questionam o porquê desse barulho estar acontecendo?
Estávamos no meio de uma reunião de professores. Por isso, não havia ninguém do lado de fora naquela hora.
Eles deviam estar discutindo alguns temas muito importantes naquele encontro. Vai ver, é isso que me deixa mais admirado.
Eu não entendo como 62 crianças podem contar exatamente a mesma história.
Acho que as crianças sabem sobre discos voadores. A forma que eles desenharam o disco voador e os tais seres que saíram dele. Bom, essas imagens podem ser encontradas em programas de TV, em filmes.
A maioria dessas crianças não vai ao cinema, vive no interior e os pais são fazendeiros.
Eu acredito neles, porque crianças geralmente não mentem sobre coisas como essa.
Sempre brincamos que as crianças viram esses homenzinhos verdes, mas eles dizem: não, mamãe, nós vimos mesmo.
Estão mesmo convencidos de que viram alguma coisa e têm certeza de que não fazia parte da natureza.
É que eu sou do tipo dessas pessoas que gostam de ver com os próprios olhos, certo?
Então não existe essencialmente nada que as crianças possam dizer que vá convencê-lo?
Eu tenho que admitir que vocês têm todas essas histórias sobre discos voadores pelos últimos 40 anos. Mas não dá para entender o objetivo deles. Por que estão aqui? Não sei o que estão fazendo. Estão perdendo o tempo deles andando em círculos e falando com poucas pessoas que são insignificantes.
Mas Hyde não vê as crianças e os eventos que elas alegam ter testemunhado como insignificantes. A evidência dela é uma pergunta que perturba todos que investigam o avistamento de rua.
Por que 62 crianças mentiriam?
E porque tem havido centenas de avistamentos desde então, através de toda a África Centro-Sul, mais pessoas estão acreditando nas crianças.
As crianças não mentem, elas dizem a verdade.
Come and sit on these chairs along here, please. I think that'll make life easier. Just make them lie straight line, thanks. Yeah, please. You want to...
No, I just wondered because he was the one that spoke to me.
All right, these are the grade 7s, the oldest children here at the school. You say they saw something.
Did you all see something?
Yes.
Can you just tell me very briefly, if we go along, just say what your name is and what you saw?
Nathaniel Coxall.
What did you see?
There was some like ship landed on the ground.
Why do you say ship? Did it have a shape?
Yes.
Like what?
It had a round top and it was flat like that around the sides.
What was around the side?
Just so like a platform coming down the side.
Did you see anything else?
Yes, we saw a black man running around.
A little man or what?
From where we looked, he was about this small, but we were quite way away. So he was about our size.
Could you see his face?
No.
What is your name?
My name's Luke Nell, and
What is your name?
Trevor Bond.
And you also saw this
Yes, we were all there.
creature?
Yes.
What did you think it was?
I don't know, really.
Did you see the thing, whatever it was, land?
Yes,
I'm Daniel Mandy, and I saw this.
Was it a form of some sort?
Yeah, it almost looked like a real person, except it was fairly plump.
Plump, not really. And what did you think it was? What were your thoughts?
At first I thought it was just some boy from the compound playing around, but the hair it looked more like our hair. It wasn't curly. That thing almost looked like a hippie.
Like a hippie. And your name?
my name is Emily Walton. I saw the little black men. They had longish hair, and it was all black, and they had big black eyes. That's all I saw. I saw a glimpse. They kind of turned around and stared, and then went back into a kind of like ship. There was like sort of one big one with quite a few little ones all scattered around.
When you say it had big eyes, show me with your hands the size compared to
They were oval, kind of like that.
Oval?
Yes.
I see. And could you see anything else on the face?
No, I couldn't. All as I could see was his hair, and when he turned around, and then he...
Were you afraid?
Yes, I was.
What did you think it was?
Well, everybody was saying that there were UFOs and everything, so...
Other people said they were UFOs?
Yeah, people were coming around telling... we were in the classroom and I ran out, and I saw it. I did think they were UFOs. I did see them.
Were you perhaps influenced by what the other children had said?
Sort of, but I did definitely see...
What you saw?
What I saw, yes.
Did you also see?
Yes.
What is your name?
Charity Shanda.
What did you see?
I saw something silver on the ground amongst the trees, and a person in black. And that's all I saw.
You saw a person alongside the silver thing?
Yes.
What did the silver thing look like?
It looked like a saucer, but the shape wasn't really round.
Have you heard about UFOs before this?
No.
You didn't know anything about it, so it was something quite new to you?
Yes.
Were you afraid?
Yes.
What did you do? Did you run to fetch the teachers, or you just stayed with the other children?
I stayed with the other children.
We talked with a lot of individuals about their experiences, but there's something about talking with, a group that has collectively experienced the same thing that is just more convincing and seems more legitimate. In the case where we spoke with young children who had experienced a visitation from 2 UFOs and the 2 beings who had hovered over their playground during recess. This was at a small secondary school outside Harare in Zimbabwe, and 60 children at recess had seen these 2 UFOs hover, 2 alien beings come out. And I even remember how one little girl described it to me. She said it was as if they were kind of floating above the grass towards us, or hopping across the grass towards us. And in this case, I remember John's voice very specifically as he asked one little girl. And these were very disciplined, sort of post-colonial little children, different races with braids, very well spoken. And John said, well, what would you call these things that you saw? And she'd say, I'd call them aliens. I'd call them alien beings.
In September 1994, over 60 children from this school in the suburbs of Harare, Zimbabwe, witnessed several objects landing and 2 beings coming out. Just over 2 months later, John and Dominique came to the scene to work with the children, their parents, and the teachers still suffering from shock. John, who essentially specialized in child psychiatry, devoted a great deal of time to interviewing the children.
Something scared you, is that right?
Yes.
What scared you?
The noise.
What noise?
The noise that we heard in the air.
You heard a noise in the air? What was it like? Like a roar or a buzz or a hum, or what kind of a noise?
It was like someone was blowing a flute. It was scary myself.
It was scary because you saw something yourself?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I saw little objects hovering. It was quite big actually, and then there was little ones all around it.
We saw something silver, and then we quickly ran to the logs, and we saw a silver thing, and we saw a man standing next to it.
What was it? What did it feel like when he was looking at you?
Felt scared.
It felt scary? What was scary about it?
Well, felt scared because I've never seen such a person like that before.
Did you see the eyes? What did they look like?
They were going like that.
Where was the pointy part? Was the pointy part in here, or was the pointy part out there? Up there. And what was the feeling when you looked at the eyes?
It was scary.
Mm-hmm. And what scary? Why? What made it scary?
The eyes looked evil.
Evil. Mm-hmm. And what was evil about them? Say what you mean by evil.
It looked evil because it was just staring at me.
With what? Staring at you as if what? As if to do what?
As if it wanted to come and take us.
As if it wanted to come and take you. That was the feeling you got? That it wanted you to go with it? Did you feel like you wanted to go with it? No. Did you feel, what was the effect on you when you felt it wanted to have you go with it?
I just walked away and I started crying.
They came running up here in such a panic. And, I mean, even if we had staged it, they could not have run all together like that. Even if we practiced it, I don't know how many times. But they came up here like a living snake. And they just came, we were in a staff meeting and we just heard them screaming, ah, and they were here, you know, and a child can't make that up.
I was very skeptical in the beginning as well. I believed that they'd seen something, but I wasn't prepared to accept that it was anything supernatural or anything like that. But I think the consistency of what's been going on indicates that it was more than I was prepared to admit in the beginning.
So both of them were running. One was running in the trees, and the other one was running across the ship, because there were also trees here.
The eyes were like more pointed as they came in toward the center of the head, is that? Right?
No, more circular. And this was all black in here.
All black. Now you've made pupils. Did they actually have pupils, or was it?
The pupils were white.
What?
The pupils were white like that.
You saw white in the center?
Yes, like that.
Was he near the silver object, or was he far from?
No, on top.
On top of the silver object. Okay. And did you look at him?
Yes.
Did he look at you?
Yes, then he gave me the creeps and I took
Gave you the creeps. Actually, in your drawing, you showed him standing up, didn't you?
Yes, I had to draw him standing up because I couldn't draw him sitting. What I thought was maybe the world's going to end. Maybe they're telling us the world's going to end.
Why do you think they might want us to be scared?
Because maybe because we don't look after the planet the area properly.
And Lily, is this an idea that you have had before, that we don't look after the planet properly in the air, or did this idea come to you when you had this experience?
When I had this experience.
And how did that idea come to you from this experience? This is a little hard, but try to be with me here, okay? How did this idea come to you when you had this experience?
I just felt all horrible inside.
You felt horrible. At what point did you feel that? When you saw the craft, or when you got home at night? Or
when I got home.
You had that horrible feeling when you got home?
Yes.
And say more about that horrible feeling, Lisa. What was it like?
It was like in the world, all the trees would just go down and there would be no air and people would be dying.
And those thoughts came to you, had you had those thoughts before this experience?
No.
No. And how did those thoughts come to you? Did they come to you from the craft, or from
the man?
The man. And did the man say those things to you? How did he get that across to you?
Well, he never said anything. It's just that the face is the eyes.
What was the sense you got from those eyes?
He was interested.
They describe these experiences or these events like a person talks about something that has happened to them. And when you're talking with a psychotic who's telling you something and it's a delusion and you feel that it really didn't happen, I can tell. I mean, I know this is something that the person wants me to believe, or they're frightened, or they're distorting reality in some way. There's nothing like that here. These are people of sound mind, by and large, telling me something that's they know that I might think they're crazy, and so they're a little concerned about telling me, and and they're very full of questioning themselves and doubt, and I mean, and then they describe something very real and intense, a light or something happened to their body, or it's the whole quality of the way they talk about it is the way a person talks about experience that happened to them.
It was silver, and the ring around it was red.
It was red. Did light come from the whole thing, or
There are lights around here.
lights along the edge there? How many of the strange beings did you see?
I saw one over here. They had eyes like that, and they were kind of just like looking at us. They were like kind of astonished at what we were.
But they believed the aliens had an ominous message.
Fungi, what do you imagine is his reason for visiting Earth?
I think it's about something that's going to happen.
Something that's going to happen.
It was making me all scared. My heart was now starting to pump faster, and it was making me all woozy now.
Oh, wizzy?
Woozy. My heart kind of went faster and then slower and then faster and then slower, all at the same time.
What time of day did this event occur?
At break time.
Break time in the morning or lunch break?
Morning.
Morning break. And what were you doing at the time?
Well, I was playing in the playground, and then we saw something silver, and then we quickly ran to the logs, and we saw a silver thing, and we saw a man standing next to it. They were just like looking at all of us. They seemed to have stiff necks. They didn't seem to move their necks like we can.
How tall would you guess they were?
They're about my size.
About your size.
His eyes looked at me as if, I want you, and things like that.
I want to what?
I want you.
I want you.
Yeah. They weren't frightened of us. They actually came near. And they didn't try to attack.
They didn't act in an unfriendly way, you mean?
No. Then he was looking at me back. I couldn't just keep on looking at him, so I had to stop and I looked sideways, so he couldn't keep on making me feel faint. I think they want people to know that we're actually making harm on this world, and we mustn't get too technologized.
Would you like to see him again?
Yes.
You would like to see him again? Do you think you might see him again?
I don't know.
And if you saw him again, what would you do?
I'll ask him some questions.
What would you like to ask him?
I'll ask him what is he doing on Earth and what does he want with us.
And if someone were to say, well, this is imagination, this is a dream, how is it different from imagination or dream as you experienced it?
Well, it's definitely reality. And anybody can think that it's not true or that we're making things up, but we know what we've seen and we believe it. I believe in it because I did see it.
Mr. McKay, what was your first impression when you heard the story?
My first...
1.5 years ago.
Yeah, it was 1.5 years ago. My first impression was that I thought the children were imagining what they saw.
Because there were no adults there.
There were no adults who saw it. It was only children at the school. And all the children in the playground, somewhere like 250 of them. And out of that, only sort of 60 claimed to have actually seen it as such. So that actually made me more skeptical initially. Since we have had all the reporters, we have had Professor Mack from Harvard University out here, I've changed my mind slightly. I believe the children did see something. Unfortunately, I personally didn't see it, so it's very difficult for me to give my own personal opinion.
It's more than 1.5 years ago, that the UFO landed here? Yeah. Who can tell me exactly what happened? Okay, go ahead.
We were playing down over there on the log.
Yeah?
And then we saw something shiny, so we all ran down over there.
And it was in the early morning?
It was at break time.
Yeah?
And then we saw something shiny. And we saw two
two people. They were in black, tight black suits. And they had big eyes. And a small, we didn't actually see their nose. It was quite small. And their mouth was quite small as well. One of them was running in slow motion up across the ship. And the other one was standing beside the ship.
Yeah, you made a drawing, huh? It looks like this?
No, yeah, something like that. I couldn't see the eyes or the nose or the mouth. It was just blank, like a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when they came, I thought they were crazy.
What was the first thing you thought?
I thought they were crazy just coming to our school doing nothing. And all I saw was something like silver coming down, and I said, what must that be? And everybody's crowding it. I must go crowd too. And then I went and I started crowding, and everybody, then more people came and more. And then I said, hey, I can't see anymore. Come on, somebody, I'm sure. Come on. And then I went to the front, and I started seeing more of them, and then I just ran away. The day before the spaceship came, my friends and I were sitting in the playground, and one of my friends, she said, oh, there's a UFO. She said, and I looked at it, and she said, no, just kidding, it's an airplane. And we looked up, and I thought to myself, that can't be an airplane, because it was very shiny. It looked kind of like a cigarette, you know? It was a long thing, and then on the end it was all shiny. And so I said, maybe it is a UFO. So we were all kind of like getting scared now. And then the day that it happened, then we started thinking, yeah, that must have been a UFO in the sky. Because my brother also saw it, but he's left the school now.
Mm-hmm.
It was sort of like a round shape, sort of like a plate, sort of like two plates that were sort of like on top of each other. Then there was sort of like the hole, the hatch for it, and there was sort of like in between two trees. You couldn't see that clearly, and it was just silver all over. I didn't see any men or something like that.
You saw one UFO that's surrounded by little ones?
Yeah, one big one. One spaceship. One big one, little ones around.
Yeah, let me see. Let me see your drawing. One big
one big ship, and then small ones surrounding it with they were lights.
Yeah.
Surrounding the ship.
Like Sean's, huh? This is Sean's drawing. Yeah. Okay, one landed, the big one landed, and the two aliens came out.
Yes.
And what happened with the little ones?
The little ones, they were just floating around in the air. They didn't touch the ground. They touched the ground.
And then these made the silver lights?
Yeah. They were making different color lights, like green, red, flash to green, then they'd go to blue, and then purple. Yeah, purple and red. But it was going like each one to each one, but quickly. Yeah, like you do, like they'll go there and then it'll vanish, and then it'll go there and vanish, and then vanish.
Oh, really?
But going quickly. Like as if it was one ship moving. Yeah.
I can drawing.
Come on.
Were they yellow?
No. I didn't have a silver crayon, so I did it yellow.
Yeah. So, but what happened? You came home and you told your parents?
Yeah. Some of them didn't believe us. My mom didn't believe me.
Your mom didn't believe you?
My mom also didn't believe me.
Is that hard? Because if you see something and nobody believes you, what happens?
Well, yeah, you feel sad. You feel lost out. You talk to your friends. You start to think as if it wasn't true. Yeah. And people say to you, no, it wasn't true, so you think it wasn't true. And then you think that you're mad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And after that, you get all upset. Yeah, and everyone starts teasing. And my friends over the road, when I go there and I tell them about it, they just say, oh, he believes in aliens, oh, he's stupid.
You've seen too many movies.
Yeah.
Was there nobody in your neighborhood who believed you?
My mom and dad believed me. My granny and my granddad believed me, but my uncle didn't. Where the spaceship had landed, all the insects and ants and stuff like that were all dead, and there was a huge black mark there. And my mom said it might have just been a fire there, but I don't think there was. I think it was an alien ship.
Yeah. But You've gone to the place, of course, and have you seen anything?
No, we weren't allowed to.
An evidence, I mean, that it was there?
Some other people came to the school and they went out the boundary of the playground and they went to go and see what had happened there, and they saw that the grass was burnt and all the living things had died there in that area. Him and his parents and his brother and sister all believed me. And my mother just believed me, but my dad didn't believe anything I said. Anything.
And did you describe it to them? Exactly what happened?
Yeah, and I drew it on a paper and I said, Daddy, this is what it looked like. And then he saw it well and he said, Michael, I think you're telling the truth now. And then that's all he said of it, and that's all.
Who was scared? Not all of you, huh? Who was dreaming about it since then? In a bad way? Yeah, in a bad way? No, let me tell me first in a bad way. Why? You have nightmares about it?
Yes, I used to, but then after about a year I stopped dreaming about it. I dreamt that the same one I saw without hair, he came into my bedroom and he took me from my bed.
Did you dream that?
Yes.
Yeah?
And then I just screamed. I woke up and screamed.
What did your mom say?
Well, she just kept on saying it was a nightmare. She didn't really believe me. I wasn't scared a bit.
No? Not at all?
Nothing. It was all fun to me. I heard this lady on TV. I think it was still dark. And she said this lady got kidnapped and she had babies that were aliens.
That's what you're afraid of.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm always sleeping with my kittens because I'm always so scared.
And he's protecting you, of course.
Maybe if we don't do what they were trying to tell us, they'll probably come back and trying to tell us again. Yeah.
Why do you all think these aliens came especially here in Aruba? Have you any idea?
Me?
Yeah.
I think they came to examine what it looked like. Because even though you can see it from probably where they are, but they want to come take a closer look how the grass grows, how the trees grow and stuff like that.
Yes.
I think the aliens came because they're curious like us, and they want to learn about us and we want to learn about them. Some people say that people are saying that the aliens came to warn us when something's going to happen, that something bad is going to happen to the earth.
Yeah.
I think they came here to try and warn us that the children, because we're young, we've got a long time till we die, to warn us that when we're older, there's something going to happen to the earth. Yeah, and not to pollute. Because we're young, we can still prevent it. Yeah.
Do you still have all that feeling that as a child you can do a lot?
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah? Do you feel, as a child, do you feel privileged? Or do you think, next time if the UFO is coming, please go to another school?
No, I don't feel privileged.
You feel privileged that you go?
I'd love them to come back and you could see them again. But only just come closer.
What do you want to say?
The only thing I want to know, when are we going to be on TV? All right.
We sent you the cassette.
I believe that the aerial sighting, although we do not fully understand what happened, there was something definite that did occur there that was out of the ordinary. It was not a regular day at school.
Yeah, I think if there was one experience I'd like to relive, it would be that particular experience.
It really does stick with me that something happened, something was out there, and the kids saw it.
He has never stopped talking about it. He has never stopped talking about it. And he has believed all the time that it did happen.
I think something definitely happened, yeah, for sure.
But it was just that picture that it'll never go out of my mind, was the face and just the craft, you know, they'll always be there.
We met up on many occasions after that and hugged and shook our heads and said that was the most amazing experience of our lives, wasn't it?
It was literally fear of the unknown, pun intended. You know, that's the best way I can describe it, but I'll never forget it.
Strange, it was exciting, it was, you know, it's just, you don't see stuff like that every day, you know. That was like a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Strange, I guess, like I said, you know what, I mean, I don't want to believe in the whole aliens and stuff, but it always leaves me questioning, thinking, that was very strange, so it is possible. And I mean, in a way, I guess there are times when I try and disassociate myself with like the experience and like what happened in 94, like trying to disassociate myself with what happened there when I was in junior school, but I realized I'll be lying to myself.
No one is willing to say that because we know that we didn't just make things up. Something definitely was happening. Whether it was UFOs or whether it was who knows what else. You know, we can't say for sure one way or the other, but definitely there was something that happened there that day. And it got the whole school riled up.
I don't believe for a minute you could get that many kids to agree to do something like that. I really don't. I know children well enough. I just don't think that would happen. So I'm absolutely sure that something did happen there.
I haven't really talked to anyone about it. I usually kept it quiet, you know, because most people probably think I'm, you know, a bit nuts. But, you know, I think it's good to speak about it.